Hi everyone, this is Neha from Vysh IAS, and today we are here with a new series of Geography NCERT classes where we will be covering the People and Economy book NCERT of class 12, and other one is little one that also we'll be covering with time. Okay, so as you all know this thing very well that we are here again after a long time on special demand of students. So Vysh IAS has been working for really very hard. So we were busy over there, and on a huge amount of students, we are here again with a new series of geography. So you have to like in your test series as well, and this is very important book for your prelims and mains book. So before appearing for the exam, all you do is just go through this lecture in the 2x mode, or if you are watching it for the very first time, just watch it, just sit and watch it, because we'll be covering almost everything thoroughly in this video. Okay, you need not to go again and just notes. All you can do is just listen to these video lectures, and you will literally able to understand almost everything. And also you will find that your answer writing skills will also improve after reading these books, because they hold so much of caliber in them, and you know the thing NCERT is a very important role in UPSC. Okay, so you know about the Vysh IAS, that we are available on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and you can contact directly to us on WhatsApp, and Vysh sir will be directly contacting to you people. For any query, just ping us on WhatsApp, and also do show your support. So we are starting with chapter 1 of India, People and Economy. So basically you need to understand first the theme of this book, theme of this chapter first, then we'll be moving forward. So in this thing, you know this thing, why I have chosen this book first. Let me tell you this thing first, because most of you ignore this because you believe that if you are done with the fundamental things, you are this become easy. Yes, book becomes easy, but most of you. So first you need to understand the theme. So theme is, here you are going to study about the distribution, density, growth and composition of India's population, that how it is being distributed around all over India. What is the density, like in how much area, how many people are living, depending on the area wise, and the composition, and lot many things are there. This in this chapter you'll be knowing the phases of population, like how population grew in India. Like you know this thing very well, that we are the most populous country now, but you have to stick to the validated sources only. Okay, so we know this thing that people are we the people of India, right? So everything starts with the people. So the people are very important component of a country, and you know this thing that India is the second most populous country after China. And until unless that those records, and that comes from that. Okay, with a total population of 1210 million, 2011. Data is based on 2011, and it's a decadal census thing. So 2021 was, I guess, 16th census, right? So you should know, you must be knowing the details of like the first census, when it was conducted, and who was the viceroy. Things we are not going in detail, that's a history section, but you should know about this thing. If you don't know, then go and watch the history available on the Vysh IAS channel. Okay, so you know this thing, you should understand this thing, that India is, if you combine the population of North America, South America and Australia together, India's population is even larger than that. And population rises, it ultimately as we are talking about geography, so population rises, it puts more pressure on the resources. Like first these 10 resources were available for 10 people, now these 10 resources are available for the 20 people. I'm not doubling the things, but example sort. Okay, so you know this thing, the theme, the pattern, distribution, density, growth, position of India's population. We'll be studying all about it over here, and you know this thing, as I already told you, that census operation are held every 10 years in our country. The first population census was conducted in India in 1872. You must be aware of those viceroys and every detail about it. If not, then go and watch the video. You must watch the videos, okay? And first complete census was in 1881, because 1872 was like complete data was not, a group of people were selected. Like the complete one was in 1881. this was information available in the geography. So as I told you that in the theme we'll be talking about distribution, density, growth, composition. Okay, I'll try my best to cover things as fast as I can. Okay, distribution. When we talk about the distribution, you need to come to this map first. Okay, the dots represent the population. These dots represent the population. The dark it gets, you should understand that the more dense this population is. The more dense this population is. See, in Jammu and Kashmir, you will find very less dots. So the area is large, but the population is less. Here in the northeast, the area is large, population is less. Come here to UP Bihar, the area is less, the population density is humongous. Okay, so this is basically the pattern of spatial distribution of population. Okay, you should understand this thing by this map that India's population is highly uneven. The pattern of India's population is highly uneven, and the percentage shares of the states and UTs in the countries shows that UP has the highest population, followed by Maharashtra, Bihar, and West Bengal. And you must have studies about these, that the population, you will find it more over the river side, the pattern of population, okay, where the water availability is there. So the population is basically distributed like resources is the factor. Now there are many factors like job opportunities and whatnot, migrations. If we go in detail, that will be too for you. Okay, so you should know this thing, that the distribution of population, if somebody asks you that what is the distribution of population in India, so if in one word, it should be uneven. Okay, and UP has the highest population, followed by Maharashtra, Bihar. And if you can draw this clearly shows, if you just stick to this one, this clearly shows that, like, see, Delhi, highly red, like this gets darker, okay, depending on the capital city, right? Then if we talk about, when we will talk about distribution uneven, you will come to know that the UP, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, along with Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Gujarat, these 10 to 11 states accounts for about 76%. This shows how uneven is this. On the other hand, share of population is very small in states like Jammu and Kashmir, only 1%, Arunachal Pradesh, not even 1%, Uttarakhand, not even 1%, 0.84, in spite of these states having fairly large geographical area. So getting my point, what I am trying to say, large area, less population. Less area, large population. So this is the uneven distribution of population in India. Okay, such an this question can be asked to you, like show the relationship between this. I'll tell you. Such an uneven spectral distribution of population in India. After looking at this uneven distribution of population in India, we can just relate that there's a close relationship between population and physical, socio-economic, and historical factors. Yes. Okay. So this questions can be this question, you can write this question like tell the relationship between population. What is the relationship between population and physical, socio-economical, historical factors, or how physical, economical, and historical factors affects the population, and describe the uneven distribution of population in India. What you do is just study yourself, frame the questions yourself, and you'll just see that you are able to write better answers. Okay, as far as the physical factors are concerned, we'll be focusing on this physical, social, economic, and historical factors. As far as the physical factors are concerned, it is clear that climate, along with the terrain and availability of water, largely determines the pattern of population distribution. Of course, that is very true. People could easily live in the plain area, and when it comes to hilly area, the oxygen demand and many factors are there. People would rarely wish to stay there. Okay, just a second. So it is climate, along with the terrain and availability of water, largely determines the pattern of population distribution. We observe that the North Indian deltas, coastal plains have higher proportion of population. So where there you will be finding the plains, there the population will be more. Where you will find the mountains, the terrain is high, that the population will be less. So I hope you got the point that how physical factors affects the population. So plain, more population, that clearly shows in the northern Indian plains, deltas, coastal plains have higher proportion of population than the interior districts of southern and central India, Himalayas, and some of the northeastern and the western states. However, development of irrigation, Rajasthan, availability of mineral and energy resources, Jharkhand, and development of transport network, peninsular states have resulted in moderate to high concentration of population in areas which are pretty very thinly populated. So from here, we need to understand this thing like physical factor and population. Okay, fine. The social, what we are studying over here is keep your focus on population, physical, social, economical, and historical factors. Keep your eye on these three things: physical, social, economical, and historical factors. Physical factors we have discussed. We are coming to social, economical, and historical factors. Because what happens when we talk about social, economical, and historical factors is evolution of settled agriculture development, pattern of human settlement, development of transport network, industrialization and urbanization. This was observed that the reason which were there in river plains and coastal area of India, there have been a very large population concentration have been found there. Even though the uses of natural resources like land, water in these regions have shown the side of degradation, the concentration of population remains high because of an early history of human settlement and development of transport network. On the other hand, urban regions of Delhi, Kolkata, Bangalore, Pune, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Jaipur have the high concentration of population due to industrial development and urbanization, drawing a large number of rural urban. So how historical factors are there? Like somewhere you will find migration is due to some collapse, earthquakes, land degradation, that you must have studied about zooming cultivation and all, right? So many factors are there. I think you must have got the social, economical, and historical factors. Okay, moving ahead. Density of population. You can find a question over here in the. This becomes a very easy question. What is density of population is? Number of person per unit area. When it comes to what is density, nobody is going to ask you what is density. But when it comes to expressing it in the numbers, it helps you understand the better distribution of population in relation to land, right? How you are going to define the density in relation to the land. So for better understanding of the spatial distribution of population, we need to understand the density of population. So number of person divided by the per unit area. Okay. So if somebody asks you that what is the relation of land with relation to the spatial distribution of population, so basically it is the number of people related with a area, living in an area. Okay. So density of population in India is 380 persons per square kilometer. 2021 corona years, so that is the thing. Okay, 382 person per square. We are talking about 2011 census. Okay, 382 persons per square kilometer. There has been a steady increase of more than 200% per square kilometer over last 50 years. 200 persons per square kilometer. So as the density of population increased from 170 persons per square kilometer, so they are 117 and it raised to 382 people in 2011. Here you will find that okay, from 117 it has moved on to 382, but that's a large itself. Okay. If the spatial variation of population density in the country ranges as low as 17% per in Arunachal Pradesh, you will find the density of population up to like 17% per square kilometer, and when it comes to Delhi, you will find it 11,297 persons. See the difference between these two numbers. So among the northern Indian states, for Bihar it's 1102, and for West Bengal it's 1029. For UP it's 828. So these are like highly densely populated area. And then comes Kerala, Tamil Nadu, education. Lot many things are beneficial over there. 59,555. I've higher Delhi's among the peninsular Indian states. And when it comes to Assam, Gujarat, Arunachal Pradesh, Haryana, Jharkhand, Odisha, they have moderate densities. And the hill states of Himalayan region, northeastern states of India, excluding Assam, have relatively low density, while the Union territories of Andaman and Nicobar have very high density of population. This is basic fact you can put into your answers. Okay, the density of population as discussed in earlier paragraph. Yes, when we are talking about distribution of density of population, this is basically a crude measure of human and land cultivation. To understand it better, we need to talk about the cultivable land, the physiological and agricultural densities that should be found out, which are significant for a country like India having a large agriculture populations. So only talking about land is a measure. We need to talk about physiological, agricultural densities, cultivable land, and lot much. Okay. Next. Yes, see this thing. The light the shade, less the population, higher the shade, higher the population, density of the population. Okay. See this UP Bihar thing. These are highly populated areas, and less than 100 is these light ones. Okay. And these mid ones are moderately populated. What you can do in geography, best method to study geography is just take the maps, study them, read them. All you can do is just take this map. Okay, take a printout of it. If you must be having the NCERTs. Okay, write the pointers on its side. That what do you understand by density? What are your takeaways from the this last paragraph of density of population? Okay, just write down the pointers. Okay, and believe me, you have to write these things that 382, 117, 200%, 11,297 in Delhi, 70. Have to write the facts as well. Your answer, there should be a complete answer. When people say no, you don't need facts, you need facts. Yes, you need facts. You have to support your answers with facts. Okay, it is very important, and you need to understand that thing. And after watching this video, you need not to watch it, read it again. Yes, three are very important. Physiological densities, because what we said is this density of population is a crude measure. Because we are talking only about land and number of person. So we said that you have to take in consideration physiological, agriculture and cultivable land. So based on that, what is physiological density? So total population upon net cultivated area. Agriculture density is total agriculture population upon net cultivable area. Net cultivated area is this much has been done. This much land agriculture has been done, cultivated, cultivable, that this is the land holding we have, this is cultivable land. Okay, there's a big difference between cultivated and cultivable area. Okay, agriculture population includes cultivators and agriculture laborers and their family and members. So agricultural population, it's not only the cultivator or something, it's everyone over there. Cultivators, agriculture laborers and their family members as well. Which when we talk about unemployment, you must have studied about it as well. So we need to talk about it. Sorry. Yeah. Physiological density, agriculture density, you need to remember this thing. When it comes to agricultural, you need to remember this, that this is net cultivable, and when it's physiological, it's cultivated. Okay, please remember this. What was our theme? Our theme was distribution. We have studied what is distribution. Uneven. Density, we said land and net. So land and the per unit area, person per unit area. That was crude. So we studied about physiological agriculture thing. Now we are coming about growth. Very important part. The most important part of this chapter. How you under the growth? Of course, you are going to take the 2 point of time. Okay, this was this thing in 2000, for example, 1991, and now the population in 2011. This is the thing. So you have to take the two particular times. So growth of the population is the change in number of people living in a particular area between 2 points of time. So how the growth of population is represented? It is represented in the numbers. Okay, sorry, it's represented in the percentage. So when we talk about the population growth, it has two components. One is natural and one is induced. And when we talk about natural growth, we are talking about crude birth and death rates. And the induced one is the volume of inward and outward movement of people in any given area. Inward and outward movement we related with migrations also. Okay. And however, in the present chapter, here we'll be only discussing about the natural growth. We're going to discuss about the induced thing. Just stay to these NCERTs, right? They will clear your basics very much. Why we have to come up with this series? Let me be very honest with you people. Just making your work, we are just trying to make your work little easy. Not like you need not to put so much of effort in it. You need not to put your every that important time. So we are giving you it in a very short duration time. Because you're going to sit and study about it, it will take so much for you to understand. And the visual memories, I think, are more stays for longer. Okay. Coming back to it. So in this chapter, we'll be only discussing about the natural growth of India's population. Okay, the decadal and annual, what we you need to understand these two things over here. This birth rate. Okay. How in chapter will be the decadal and annual growth rates of the population in India is very high and steadily increasing over time. Okay, decadal is that 10 years. Okay, decade. The annual growth rate of India is 1.64%. 2011, it increases by 1.64%. Very much. Okay, population doubling, time population. What is population doubling? Time population doubling time. You can say it that what is population doubling time? So basically the time taken by any population to double itself at its current annual growth rate. So our current annual growth rate is 1.64. So the time taken by population, in how many years you can say it doubles itself based on the current annual growth rate. Like if, for example, let's say if I'll keep on studying 8 hours daily, so by this speed, in how many years my output will be doubled? Okay, if the population is increasing, for example, by 10%, it's a very large number, I know that, but take the example. Okay, 10%. So by if it keeps on increasing 10%, so in how many years it is going to double itself? Okay. So the growth rate of population in India over the last 1 century has been caused by annual birth rate and death rate and rate of migration, the induced one, and thereby shows different trends. So you cannot say that there's always a steady rise. No, there are various phases of the population, how it grows. So believe me, in this chapter, if something is very important, this topic, the growth of population. So we'll be just give you 15 minutes to it. I'll make it very clear to every one of you. Okay? Okay. Just a second. So we were talking about there are 4 distinct phases of growth identified within this period. If you even remember the 4 names, you'll understand it. Okay? I was just telling you the 2 important things that you can learn from this thing as this, like sources of population data, and also remember this thing. Okay, this slide, do not forget, just Excuse me, everyone. I'm back, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So the first phase one is stationary phase of growth. Okay. In which what happens? This talks about basically the 20th century, 1901 to 1921, stagnant and stationary phase of growth, where the growth of population was stationary. It was moving slowly, very slow, even like negative. Negative means like death rate was very high. Okay, both the birth rate and death were very high, keeping the rate of increase low. Poor health. So what of if somebody asks you the phase that what leads to stagnant and stationary of growth, you can just make it like poor health, medical services, illiteracy of people at large, in distribution of system of food, other basic necessities. So poor health, medical services, illiteracy. So that's why the government has to lot many schemes. Beti bachao, beti padhao, only two births, two child policy. Beti padhao was for the child, that girl child. No? I'm sorry for it. Okay, so the first phase was you need to understand this. Let's remember the name first. First was stagnant and stationary phase of growth. First phase of this is stagnant and stationary phase of growth. Write it somewhere. Second phase was steady population growth, or you can just call it. This was basically that great economic depression one. Then third one is population explosion. No blast was there. It was exponentially high growth. Last one was this downward trend. Okay, so four things. First one is stagnant and stationary phase of growth. That was in the period of 1901 to 1921. The reason was poor health, medical services, illiteracy of people at large, and inefficient distribution. System of food and other basic necessities were largely responsible for high birth and death rates in this period. Then comes the second phase. Second phase was also in this 1921 to 1951. Basically, this was a steady population growth rate. What we said in the first phase was like negative rate of growth. Death rate was high. Medical emergencies were there. Health facilities were not there. Okay. Availability was not there. So much uneven system of food distribution. So those things improved. Steady population growth. At least from negative, we came to a steady population growth. So basically, there was an improvement in health and sanitation throughout the country, brought down the mortality rate. At the same time, better transport communication system improved the distribution system. You have to write these topics. Yes, you have to write these points. Just remember, just hear it. Yes, you have to write these points. From where you're going to bring the new things. These are the words. You have to write it. We have to understand them. We have to move to our basics again. Yes. From where you are going to write the new things. What happens is something comes for free, people are not valid. People are moving towards the fancy stuffs. Just go and watch the videos of toppers. They're just telling this thing very much that stick to basics. They are very much to basics. Okay. So better transport and communication system, improved distribution system. So food distribution system got improved due to transportation and communication. The crude birth rate remained high. So birth rate was high, but the death rate leading to higher growth rate than the previous phase. This was in the backdrop of Great Economic Depression, 1920s and what? Two. Okay, first phase was stagnant. Second was steady population growth. Why first phase was stagnant? Because of poor health, sanitations and all those things. And second was improvement in this. What was hurdle in first one? Improvement in second one. Then comes to third. See, you need to from this line as well. At the same time period, transport communication, the crude birth rate remained high in this period, this second phase, in this period, leading to higher growth rate than the previous phase. Birth rate was high, but the death rate which was high in the first phase got improved. Okay, let's come to phase 3. The decadal 1951-1981 are referred to as period of population explosion in India, which was caused due to rapid fall in mortality rate. Mortality rate was very low, but a high fertility rate. when we talking about phases of growth, just remember two things: birth rate, death rate, birth rate, death rate. So mortality one, fertility one. Mortality, fertility, birth rate, fertility, death rate, mortality. Okay. So what happened? This was decreasing, the death rate, mortality one, and this was increasing. So this was basically a population explosion. Population exploded. It increased like anything. Explosion, not the blast thing. Population exploded, it increased like anything. Okay. Yeah. The average annual growth rate was as high as 2.2%. It is in this period after independence that development activities were introduced. So things are getting better. Health, sanitation, food, and everything is getting better. Okay. It is in this period after the independence that development activities were introduced through a centralized planning process, and economy started showing up, ensuring the improvement in living condition of people at large. So the living condition improved. So health conditions, sanitations, everything got improved. So ultimately you will get the good food, fertility will increase. So the birth rate will also increase. Okay. Yeah, so the living condition of people improved. Consequently, there was a high natural increase and high growth rate. Getting my point? Beside increase in international bank rates, bringing in Tibetans, Bangladeshis, Nepalis, and even people of Pakistan contributed to high growth rate. Migration was there because, see, migration, the pull factors were very high. You must have studied about the migration. We'll study about it in the fundamentals also. The pull factors were very high. Push factors were not high. The pull factors of migrations were very high. The pull factors over here in India. Okay, first phase is stagnant, second steady, population explosion. From here, negatives, positive, negative conditions. The negative condition improved in first one, it got even better in second one, so it led to very much explosion. And migration are also the reason why I'm taking time on a particular phase is that you should remember. I can also speak this thing. Okay, third phase was population explosion, done and dusted. No, you have to hear this thing. If you even remember 2 to 4 lines, it will become so good for you to write an answer, because audio memories are memories are very stays for longer. If I'll keep on speaking for like a minute or so, you'll remember it. I'm 100% sure about it that you'll remember it. So please do pay attention to it. Just do show your interest to it. Okay? You have to show the efforts Vysh sir is putting in to give students something really good, and you have to value it ultimately, because I have been working with Vysh sir since so long, and he's been putting so many efforts just to give. Every new day he comes up with a new idea, and he is not putting anything fancy here. Only he wants serious candidates, and he has so many serious candidates. Still he keeps on pushing for certain things, that no, we have to do this, we have to give them this thing. He has so many things in mind. So just show your interest. Just show your ultimate interest, that yes, you want it. Be there to serve every one of you, but you have to show your interest first. So based on your things, he'll become the next thing. Okay, then the phase 4. So in the past 1981 till present, the growth rate of country's population, though remained high, have started slowing down gradually. These tables, you have to go to your NCERT's book back. I have not put them here. This is more like an introductory video, but yes, chapter 1 maximum part is covered over here. One topic is left that we'll be covering in another video, because I'll be taking you back to the previous one. Okay, so maximum of the things we are covering over here. Just go to these tables, go to these maps, just have a look at this. You need not to even revise the things. If you understand something at once, you need not to actually revise. Once you understand the concept, things get so sorted for every one of you, right? A downward, let's come to fourth phase, where the population remained high and slowing down gradually. A downward trend of crude birth rate is also held responsible for such a population growth. This was in turn affected by increase in mean age at marriage, improved quality of life, particularly education of females in the country. Make a chart. Okay, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. The test series students one have got the short notes from Vysh sir, I'm sure. Right? You go back to those notes, study about them. Okay. So the phase 1 was stagnant and stationary phase of growth of India's population. Second one is steady. Third one is population explosion and slowing down gradually, a downward trend of crude. But it doesn't mean that it was falling or the growth rate was not there. If it was 10% earlier, it was coming to like 8, 7, 6. It was growing with this, but it was growing. You must have studied about it in inflation also, inflation, in, right? Disflation, right? So those ones. Okay, I'm coming back again. What we have studied. This was basically an introductory video. We are starting here. It all depends on your effort as well, that how much efforts you are showing up. We will definitely cover this book. We will definitely read this book, but do show your interest because it motivates us. We also need something to get motivated. Vysh sir put so much efforts every next day, but he also needs something to get motivated. I'm promising every one of you, show your interest, show your support. He will come with immense things for you. He has immense ideas for you. You need not to waste high earned money over those fancy things. Okay, so we have studied in the theme distribution, we have studied density, we have studied growth, we have studied those 4 phases of growth of population growth, and you have to read these maps. Other than that, facts things. Okay, density facts, nothing is there. Distribution, what is distribution? Uneven, facts. Density, what is density? Facts. You include the facts, you have to write the names, just not writing 380% per square kilometer one word. You have to write the facts. Very true, crude one. Then physiological agriculture, maps. Again, this is a very important slide. Growth of population, very important. What is population doubling time? When you put these definitions in your answer, it adds quality to your answer. Okay. Then comes phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So this is it for today, everyone. It was nice having every one of you here. I'm so grateful that we are connecting again, and I'm sure I'm gonna complete these things for you. And just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And yes, we are here to serve every one of you. We have so many ideas for you, and I hope every one of you must be doing great. Just stay safe and keep smiling, keep studying. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye bye.